Assembly Member Wilson.
Thank you, Chair. Policing by consent relies upon the police being rooted in the community, and I think these front counters and the buildings have a fundamental part to play in that. I've had more correspondence on this than any other issue since being elected to the Assembly last year, and I'm sure other members have had a similar volume of correspondence. But I think that the response to this issue, I think, shows in many ways exactly where some of your priorities really are. The fact that you're spending over £25 million over the next 3 years to decarbonise police buildings while shutting or slamming the front door in the faces of Londoners who want to access those buildings across our city. And this is at a time when concerns about crime are off the scale. Mr Mayor, is London lawless?
So when he was a member of the Conservative Party, and the Mayor was Boris Johnson, he closed 341 buildings, Met Police buildings. I've got nowhere near closed anywhere near that. We have had to close 60 police buildings because of austerity. He mentions the word lawless. I mean, I don't understand why his party is always talking up Dubai and talking down London. I mean, look in the last 8 years, we've managed to reduce homicide, despite a population rising by more than 1 million, by more than 25%. Despite a population rising by more than 1 million, we've managed to reduce the number of young people with a knife by more than a quarter. We've managed to reduce burglary, managed to reduce the lethal barrel discharge. According to the ONS, the Office for National Statistics, you are less likely to be the victim of crime in London than the rest of England and Wales. Beg your pardon, victim of violence in London, and less likely the victim of violence with injury. He's always talking down London. According to independent research, you're less likely per capita to be the victim of homicide in London than New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Madrid, Barcelona, Paris, and other cities across the globe. Why is he always? I think it's the most
Mr. Mayor, I'm glad you've raised that point. I'm glad you've asked me why am I talking down London. I would utterly refute that. What I would argue, Mr Mayor, is that you are running down London. We are the mobile phone capital theft of Europe. 116,000 mobile phones stolen on London streets last year. We have knife crime up 67% since you were elected as mayor. A rape reported every hour. Now, you can cherry-pick statistics, we can all cherry-pick statistics, but overall, across the whole range of crime since you were elected mayor in 2016, overall crime in London is up 21%, and we're seeing that at a time when, thanks to the decisions that you're making and the priorities that you're making, policing is in retreat. We're losing officers, we're losing police station front desks, we're losing control of our streets. That's why people are concerned about it. So that's why people are emailing me, and I'm sure they're emailing other Assembly members, and I'm sure they're emailing you as well. But you're just not hearing, you're just not listening.
Well, now it's my turn to answer the question, if you may. So, if he's so passionate, as indeed I am, about addressing those crimes, they are serious crimes, surely he agrees with me, then rather spending money on bricks and mortar and a front counter that nobody uses, we should spend that money with limited resources on more police officers, on neighbourhood police officers, on improving the services Londoners do use. Londoners do pick up the phone and ring the police. That's why we try to improve response times by investing in command and control to make sure phones are answered quicker, whether it's 999 or 101. Surely if he cares about addressing those issues, he wants to support our town centre teams who, working this summer, have reduced homicides in our city to the lowest in years. Surely he would support the switch spending from buildings to town centre teams that have, over the last year alone, reduce personal theft and personal robbery, and a big part of that is mobile
personal
phones
theft
as well.
is off the scale, in not just year on year, but again across the whole time of your period as mayor. And yes, I would support looking at different priorities, but the £7 million that it would cost to keep these front desks open equates to just 0.5% of your consolidated climate budget. That's why I want a different priority. I want to keep Londoners safe rather than just trying to look good in front of your C40 mates.
So what the member is suggesting is that we instruct TfL to break the law and use money that TfL uses to negotiate electric buses, break the law, ultra-virus, switch that to the Met Police Service to pay for front counters. Firstly, it's breaking the law, nothing new to reform. But secondly, more importantly, we've got to recognise that actually one of the reasons why consolidating the Met Police's state is to make sure it's fit for purpose. Some of those buildings leak.
What's the point of being fit for purpose if people can't access it? Can I come?
Some of those buildings leak when it rains, and so look, I'm not going to apologise for improving the facilities our police officers have.
And that's nothing to do with decarbonisation. That's ordinary maintenance, isn't it? It's the decarbonisation point that I think is a waste of money, a wrong priority, and I would reallocate that into doing something useful with it. But it's extraordinary. We have record knife crime, record phone theft, theft from the person off the scale, shoplifting off the scale, But back to the original question of the front counters, which was raised. So at the meeting we had last month to discuss this, you were invited, but you didn't come. You sent your deputy to face the music rather than doing it yourself. So on that occasion, what did we have? We had silence from Sadiq. We heard an exchange earlier on about the disproportionate use of police force to arrest a comedian for a joke. Again, you hide behind this operational independence. Can I finish this? You hide behind operational independence every single time. Every single time. So again, silence from Sadiq. And on the tube strikes, this week, on the tube strikes.
Okay, can we stop talking over each other? And you have got to give, if you're going to ask a question, give the time if you want to respond.
On the tube strikes, Mr. Mayor, all you've said is that TfL needs to get around the table. You are TfL. You are the chair of TfL. So why the silence? People look to you for leadership and they are not getting it. You have silence from Sadiq yet again, yet again and yet again.
Okay, you're now out of time. Let's move on to
Chair,
Assembly.
don't I get a chance to respond? I forgot he ran out of time.
I think
badly managed time.
You've
almost like Susan Hall.
Actually, you've answered most of those points.
What do you make of this? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Turning to another noteworthy development, they tried to keep it hidden, but now it can no longer be concealed. Tommy Robinson has just released a letter the government had no intention of letting you see. This is not merely a few harmless lines of text. It contains revelations that may lead many to question the truth that has been kept from them. More importantly, it will leave you wondering, if they could hide this letter, how many other matters are being covered up out there?
So, ladies just walked in the gym. Let's read it, shall we? And handed me a card. It says, "Dear Tommy, a very big thank you for organising such a wonderful event in London yesterday. I met my mate at Blackfriars and marched for 2.5 hours to Big Ben. We couldn't get any further. We met the most wonderful people, grandparents, parents, kids, a baby, dogs, black people, Asian people, everyone. I came to represent my sister, who is ex-army, now disabled because she broke her back and had to, Justice, who has just had benefits slashed by £300 per month, and to represent a family whom I love, from Sri Lanka. They fled, came to England through the official system, and it cost them 20,000. They work hard, they pay their taxes, and they're true British supporters. Thank you, Katie, and everyone who organised the day. I've never felt so proud, so safe, and so part of something magnificent. Best wishes." Beautiful, eh? Beautiful experience for me, this entire event. She said, I had lots of friends that didn't come. They all want to come to the next one. Oh, the next one's going to be huge, isn't it? The next one's going to be so big. Oh, I better, look, get up. I better get this training session done. I'm shattered. I'm having a week off from tonight, ain't I? Look, ginger beard, man, what's going on?
A recent video shared by Tommy Robinson has offered a glimpse into the feelings of his supporters in a rather personal way. In the clip, Robinson reads aloud a handwritten card he received at a gym. Not just a few polite words of thanks, but a statement laden with both personal and political meaning. The author of the letter was a woman who had attended one of Robinson's events in London. She recounted marching for more than 2 hours with a friend, unable to reach Big Ben because the crowd was too large. Yet what struck her most was the unexpectedly diverse atmosphere. Grandparents, parents, children, a newborn, dogs, black people, and Southeast Asians all moving together in unison. It was precisely the image Robinson has long sought to underline. That his movement is not as one-dimensional as many portray it. The woman also explained why she was there that day: to stand in for her sister, an injured veteran who had just lost £300 a month in benefits. She also spoke up on behalf of a Sri Lankan family she knew, legal immigrants who worked hard, paid their taxes, and in her view were true patriots. Her words captured the broader message of the demonstration: disillusionment with the government and a sense that ordinary people, whether native-born or immigrant, were being forgotten by the system. The tone of the letter conveyed solidarity, expressing faith in the community that Robinson seeks to rally. She wrote that she had never felt so proud, so protected, and so much a part of something greater. That sentiment gave members of the movement a sense of belonging, something that can at times be more powerful than any specific policy demand. Of course, critics would argue that Robinson's stance remains divisive, confrontational, and anti-establishment. Yet for his supporters, his appeal lies in the feeling of being heard and represented, rather than in matters of ideology. Though deeply personal, the letter reflected a wider reality in British politics. Many people have lost trust in institutions, worry about the economy, and seek connection through movements outside the mainstream. Whether that spirit will translate into genuine political force remains uncertain. But Robinson's video highlights how real-life struggles, from injury and immigration to financial hardship, are being woven into a larger narrative in which demonstrations serve as a refuge for those who feel pushed to the margins.